Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's see if I still know how to do this. It's been quite some time. Our flight ended up getting canceled in Tampa and we were stuck there. I apologize, but nonetheless, I'm going to be very excited to go through and dive into these wide receiver rankings for the championship week here. And for that championship week, you know we're getting you a free underdog bet on Monday night. So every week on Underdog, you can check out all these cool player props. Promo code FLOCK, they'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. This is the same place where you can go out there and hop into some 2023 best ball drafts with us in the live stream. And not only will they match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100 with promo code FLOCK, but on Monday night, you are going to be getting a free bet. Don't think we've decided the player yet, but it's going to be something like Jamar Chase, more than less than half a receiving yard. So super excited about that, only with promo code FLOCK. I think that should be it. You can find that link in the description and in the comment section. Let's dive into these. Jefferson, tier 1, wide receiver 1. What the hell am I supposed to talk about? Going up against the Packers, it should be a very fun game here. Right now, the Packers are actually favored by about 3.5 points. But if you look at Justin Jefferson over the past 3 weeks, 16, 16, 15 targets. The 2 weeks before that, 11. The man is a monster. The man's the wide receiver 1 overall. And then at 2, and 3, we'll throw them both together. We're going to go Chase and Stephon Diggs. It's going to be the most exciting game of the week, of course, Cincinnati playing Buffalo on Monday night. And I don't think it really matters too much how we rank these two guys. I know Diggs disappointed this past week, but it was primarily the weather thing in Chicago. It should be better in Cincinnati this week. And also, let me know in the comment section, would y'all prefer the free bet on Underdog this week to be Jamar Chase more than less than half a receiving yard or Stephon Diggs more than less than half a receiving yard? Now, our last guy here, going to be Tyreek Hill. At the time I'm recording this, sounds like Tua's probably not going to play. Miami is favored by 1 point in this game, but I'd be surprised if Tua Tagovailoa plays after the report that we got of him going back into concussion protocol this week. So you have to move Tyreek down, and sadly, our guy that got us to so many fantasy football championships in Jalen Waddle will be moving down soon. But now dropping down to our next tier, we're going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown at 5. With St. Brown, I think you have to be very excited. If I'm looking right now at implied team totals, you actually have Las Vegas sportsbooks putting the Detroit Lions as the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL this week. That's all I need to know, okay? Jameson Williams clearly not catching on. Fire up Amon-Ra St. Brown everywhere. We'll go with CeeDee Lamb at 6, going up against Tennessee as well. Dallas is supposed to score a ton of points. Right now, they're supposed to be the 4th best offense in the NFL this week. My issue with Lamb is, in this Thursday night game, I think we see a lot of Ezekiel Elliott and a lot of Tony Pollard. Even though the Tennessee Titans have the worst defense against opposing wide receivers so far this season, the spread's 10.5 points. I think Dallas can run the ball in the second half, as we always say. And then at 7, we're going to go A.J. Brown. I'm assuming that we have Gardner Minshew under center, but like we said a week ago, Gardner Minshew playing makes the Philadelphia Eagles worse, but it does not make the wide receivers worse, because from Jalen Hurts to Gardner Minshew, you're not expecting the passing volume to come down. You're expecting the 60 rushing yards and the rushing quarterback touchdown. That leaves the offense, which hurts Philadelphia on the whole. But hell, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, they weren't getting those points anyway. So I'm not too worried about A.J. Brown here with Gardner Minshew under center like we weren't last week. And then at 8, we are going to be going with DeAndre Hopkins. Phenomenal matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, but what the hell am I supposed to say? We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Fingers crossed it's Colt McCoy, Hookem Lawrence, but if it's Trace McSorley, we don't know who it is, and it could be very, very ugly for Arizona. But now dropping down to our next tier, no, we did not forget him. We are going to be looking at Devonte Adams, and with Devonte Adams, I feel like we still have to put him top 10, right? We still have to show the man his respect when he's pretty much been a tier 1 wide receiver all season for us. But Devonte Adams in this Las Vegas Raiders offense has been bad over the past few weeks. And they played the 49ers this week. They played the 49ers, who are coming off a, I believe, 10-day rest period. It's not going to be a good spot. This is coming from someone that has a lot of money to win if Josh Jacobs has a good week this week. But right now, if you're looking at the implied team total for the Las Vegas Raiders, They're supposed to score fewer than 20 points, according to Las Vegas sportsbooks. Not good right now. And then at 10, we're going to go Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen getting that target volume again. Full PPR format, you love the man. Non-PPR, obviously, the touchdown ceiling is going to be a little bit capped because that's not who Keenan Allen is. Not worried about the matchup going up against the Rams. And then at 11, we're going to go with T. Higgins against the Buffalo Bills. We have T. Higgins here every single week. Regardless if Jamar Chase is in or out, T. Higgins is a low-end wide receiver one when you're a part of an elite level offense. I'll probably have to throw the ball against Buffalo. And then at 12, we're going to go DK Metcalf. Very tough matchup going up against the New York Jets, but keep in mind, you may not have Tyler Lockett. We don't know right now. If Lockett were to be out, then you can move DK Metcalf up these rankings. And then at 13, we are going to have the wide receiver in that same game. We're going to be going Garrett Wilson. With Garrett Wilson, you have Mike White back under center. As long as we don't have Zach Wilson here, which is going to be impossible. There's no way in hell they could start Zach Wilson ever again. Garrett Wilson's going to be in a very good spot. Love the matchup against Seattle. Love the wide receiver. But now let's drop it down to our next tier. Someone that I want to have is a borderline top 5 guy. Someone that I have a lot of money to win. If he does well, Jalen Waddle. I'm worried. I'm worried, ladies and gentlemen. You have him going up against the New England Patriots. Like we said, we don't know if we have Tua this week. Waddle has been bad when Tua has not played. Super simple. I mean, Waddle, while healthy and while Tua Tagovailoa has been under center, has been a borderline top 5 wide receiver every week, not the week against the Chargers, but every other week. But the small sample we had with no Tua, it was ugly for Waddle. I'm really hoping that he can overcome it. Maybe I'm even ranking him a little too high. We're going to go Godwin at 15 with Godwin. I know he got there this past week. It was a good matchup against Arizona. They had to go to overtime. It's a good matchup on paper again against Carolina, pretty much for the division here, but hell, this Tampa offense looks very bad. I'm rooting for Tom Brady, full transparency. I want to see greatness. I want to be able to tell my grandkids, watch them. I would love Brady to do well, but at the end of the day, it's hard to ignore what's going on in Tampa. And then 16, we're going to go to Devonta Smith. I mean, going right back to what we were talking about with A.J. Brown earlier, don't have to worry too much if you have no Jalen Hurts. For the wide receivers in particular, for the team, yes, you want Jalen Hurts back in. But for the wide receivers in fantasy, you're just going to be fine one way or another. I will say, I think Dallas Goedert does take a few targets away from Devonta Smith, but I was worried about this past week, ended up ranking him too low against the Dallas Cowboys. At 17, we're going to go Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, not a good offense. At the same time, hell, I mean, you have Jahan Dotson looking pretty damn good. Like Dotson expanding his role in Washington. Terry McLaurin, just not a wide receiver I love. I don't know what I have against Terry McLaurin. I will say, if you're looking at his fantasy points per game mark, he's actually been lower than this season. Now we're next here, Amari Cooper, someone that I'm really hoping is going to do well against Washington. But right now, if you're looking at the projection on the Cleveland Browns offense, Las Vegas sportsbooks have the Browns scoring 19 points. That's fewer than Houston. That's fewer than Las Vegas. It's supposed to be ugly. Okay, I'm really hoping that this is not true. I'm really hoping we get a big Amari Cooper game. I thought Deshaun Watson coming in was going to elevate Amari Cooper's play, and we've been flat out wrong. I know Deshaun Watson's winning football games. I know they're scoring more touchdowns with Deshaun Watson under center. We can't sit here and act like Deshaun Watson's been better than Jacoby Brissett for Amari Cooper. 19, we're going to go Tyler Lockett. No idea how to rank Tyler Lockett right now. I will be giving y'all updates to this later on in the week. Obviously, full transparency. We don't know if he's going to be playing, and it's a tough matchup going up against the New York Jets. 20, we're going to be going Christian Kirk. Great Jacksonville Jaguars offense. The issue is, while we've been debating, is the wide receiver one Christian Kirk? Is it Zay Jones? It's neither player. It doesn't matter. It's Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's the guy you want in Jacksonville. It's a very good matchup against Houston Texans. Jacksonville's been on fire. They're supposed to be right in line with like the Cincinnati Bengals in points scored this week. But dear God, it's just so volatile, the volume you're going to get from Kirk. 21, we're going to go Mike Evans. Go back to what we were talking about with Godwin. I'm rooting for this offense. I'm rooting for Brady. Good matchup against Carolina, but it's hard to ignore how bad he's been. 22, we're going to go Brandon Ayuk. Right now, I'm going to be operating under the assumption that we do not have Deebo Samuel. If you have no Deebo Samuel, we're going to go Ayuk at 22. Even if Brock Purdy has been looking more in the direction of George Kittle, I still think Deebo Samuel being removed from this offense will make Brandon Ayuk a better option in my mind. Y'all know over the past few weeks, I've had Brandon Ayuk ranked as a top 24 wide receiver after saying sell high, sell high, sell high, when he was actually outproducing what we ranked him at earlier in the season. But that's because you had Deebo Samuel. It's because you had CMC, you had George Kittle. You removed Deebo from the offense. I don't care if Kittle has been balling out over the past few weeks. I think at some point, Ayuk has to take that step forward. Then 23, someone, if he was fully healthy, would be very high in these rankings. It would probably be up there as a high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1. Christian Watson, beautiful matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. Like right now, if you're looking at this, Las Vegas has the Green Bay Packers as the third best offense in the NFL this week, only behind the Detroit Lions playing Chicago and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Packers are supposed to have themselves a day. We know that this Minnesota Vikings defense is horrible. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's putting together. We still have some bad plays from Aaron Rodgers against Miami this past week, but he definitely looks better than he did earlier in the season. We have to monitor the injury status with Christian Watson. I'm really hoping he plays. And then 24, we're going to go Juju Smith-Schuster. With Juju, I mean, we kind of know what we have. We have a Kansas City Chiefs team that is going to score 1 million points, but they're going to be spread out. We don't know where they're going. We don't know where the ball's going. All we know is Patrick Mahomes will do Patrick Mahomes things. And for that reason, you always have to have Juju Smith-Schuster as that guy in your starting lineup. And I know that on paper, it is a tough matchup going up against the Denver Broncos if you're a wide receiver 1. Do I care? No. Last time they played the Denver Broncos, we said, you know what? You should probably start Juju Smith-Schuster. Last time they played the Denver Broncos, Juju had 11 targets, 9 receptions, 74 receiving yards, and the receiving touchdown. You play Juju. Now, our last guy in this tier is going to be Mike Williams. Mike Williams has been very disappointing. I mean, Keenan Allen's been getting almost every single target in Los Angeles. I can't sit here and act like Justin Herbert's been phenomenal either. I'm rooting for Justin Herbert. I really want to see him do well. I don't really want to see Mike Williams do well, if I'm going to be honest. Never drafted him this season, but it's a very good matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. At some points, we would imagine that Herbert takes a step up, right? Like, let me pull up the updated line that we have with this game. What I'm looking at right now looks like maybe it's not updated. Yeah, the Chargers are only 6.5 point favorites. Obviously, the Rams just rolled Denver, but I figured the line would be a little bit larger. Interesting game that, obviously, they're playing in Los Angeles. Now, our next tier, going to be led off with Hollywood Brown. Interesting spot with Hollywood where it's a great matchup going up against Atlanta. Greg Dortch is banged up, but he only played 66% of the snaps this past week. He did not start. Apparently, this was because he missed a team meeting. Blah, 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 blah. I am assuming Hollywood is going to expand his role this week. It comes down to the quarterback play. If you're telling me we have no Greg Dortch, you're telling me that Colt McCoy is the starter, and Hollywood Brown is going to play 100% of the snaps against the Atlanta Falcons, he would go higher in these rankings. But at this point, with a lot of those things being question marks, it's difficult to get an accurate feel for him. So it'll just be a player we have to update later in the week. And then 27, we're going to go DJ Moore. Bad offense. I mean, good receiver. With Carolina, it's hilarious that they're going out there and just running the ball so effectively over the past few weeks. They probably aren't going to be able to do this week going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, the Bucs are favored in this game, even with the Bucs looking very bad as of late. I mean, but the Panthers this past week, Deontay Foreman, 165 rushing yards. Chuba Hubbard, 125 rushing yards. The week prior, I mean, they didn't get much against Pittsburgh, but I mean, we can go through and we can find so many examples. That Seattle Seahawks game, Deontay Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, both getting there. Raheem Blackshear also getting a touchdown. They've been running the ball effectively. We need to see some more passing volume for DJ Moore. Now, Deebo Samuel is going to be at 28. I'm assuming Deebo does not play. Okay. Don't plan on starting Deebo Samuel. I don't know why I've included him in these rankings, because obviously if he does play, we move him up from here. I don't know what I was thinking. And then 29, we're going to go Zay Jones. I mean, so embarrassing, right? For weeks, I said, you can't start Zay Jones. Don't start Zay Jones. Don't start Zay Jones. And then he just drops monstrous performance over and over and over again. And after I look like an idiot for 3 weeks straight saying, yeah, no, don't start Zay. We say, okay, I throw in the towel. I throw in the towel, put him in your starting lineup against the Jets, and he gives you absolutely nothing. So that's on me. I don't know what to do. I'm going to rank him as a mid-wide receiver 3, and I'm sorry to say it, but you got to figure it out yourself. In 30, we're going to go Jerry Jeudy. But Jerry Jeudy looks like the wide receiver 1 in Denver. I wish someone would have told us that before the season, but it does not matter. Russell Wilson's garbage. The spread on this game is almost 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it's a good matchup against the Chiefs. They're going to be throwing the ball, but it doesn't matter if they get down big. They get down big every game, and they still can't move the ball down the field. Now, we have a couple players right outside this list. We have Michael Pittman. Don't start him. I think we saw enough from Nick Foles this past week. I think we see what we have with the Indianapolis Colts. They're just packing it in. We have Olave. I don't know if he's going to be healthy. I don't see why they would rush him back when this team's not playing for anything. They're going up against Philadelphia, a tough matchup. We have Jacoby Myers. I just can't get the lateral out of my mind. We have Gabe Davis as a boom-bust option in a matchup that could turn out to be the highest-scoring game of the week. We have Jahan Dotson expanding his role in Washington. And we have Deontay Johnson, as a wide receiver that I whiffed on this season. I'm not going to put him inside the top 30. But let me know what you think. Of course, thank you so much for being a member of the flock. I am really happy if you made it this far, if you are in your fantasy football championship. Of course, if you want to check out any of these player props, if you want to get in a draft with us in the live stream, if you want to get a free bet on Monday night, make sure you sign up for Underdog Fantasy with the link in the description, the link in the comment section. Promo code FLOCK. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Available in damn near every state. But thank you again. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day, and hope we get to see you in the live stream tonight.